It's Joe from Georgia. So tourism season is upon us. And I can tell you what the United States is seeing. The United States is seeing a huge dramatic drop in international visitors to the United States. Now, those visitors contribute millions to billions of dollars of tourism dollars all across the United States, and specifically heavily in Florida, because everybody undoubtedly in Europe thinks that Florida is that Disneyland is the greatest place in the world to go. I don't understand that, but Florida's getting hammered on the tourism end, but it's also across the entire United States. Now, 18 million jobs are in the tourism industry. And when you're starting to lose billions of dollars, what you're going to do is you're going to lose jobs. You're going to lose revenues for small businesses. You're going to lose hotel motel taxes that support some things in local government. So the real deal is here. The world doesn't want to come to the United States, which has always been one of the top tourist destinations in the world. We're going to lose that title this year, and we know who we can owe that to. Congratulations on reducing the income for businesses that rely on tourism.
Oh man, the hit to the tourism industry. Can we talk about it for a sec? It's bad. It's real bad. Yeah, I'm looking at clip after clip after clip after clip after clip of empty airports, empty hotels, hotel staff complaining, tourist locations not being able to keep their doors open. And one that got me was yesterday I watched an entire piece, because I watch a lot of finance and real estate kind of stuff. And one of the real estate videos I was watching was a guy saying, this is a big fucking deal. Something bad's going on. Airbnb's about to go flat. People are flooding the market with their Airbnb properties. So houses are going to come available, but, right. That means private equity firms. Yeah. So I don't see this going well. And not to mention the fact that airlines, tourism, planning businesses and so forth are cutting back, shutting down. And I am seeing, like I said, clip after clip after clip of empty airports, empty airplanes, Disneyland. There has been video after video of empty Disneyland during the week in the summertime. Empty Disneyland. Disneyland has never been as vacant as those videos have shown me it is this week. I have never seen it that empty. And I have lived in this state for my entire life and have visited Disneyland dozens of times. I have never seen it this empty. And I went there in the 80s when they were still making it so that only 100,000 people or whatever could go into the park at any one time. This is bad. This is multiple billions of dollars of travel stuff, but then surrounding the travel stuff, billions and billions of dollars of outward ripples that this could have. All because Donald Trump made us hated by the entire world. I want to remind you that less than a year ago, we were fine. We were fine. No tariffs, no trade wars, nobody booing us at our national anthem. Nobody's sitting there trying to make fun of us. The whole world is laughing at us. The whole world is cutting us out of the market. The whole world is saying, fuck you people. There are 7 countries right now expelling American travelers. Guys, he's not helping America be great. He's turning us into the laughingstock of the world, and also giving a permission structure for everybody who's ever wanted to bully us to bully us. Right. We were the bully the whole time, guys, and now we're being taken down a peg because our actions are getting ahead of us, right? We're making mistakes, and so now everybody's figured out that we can bleed. And they're gonna come for us. That's great. So awesome. Winning, right? I am really tired of this winning.
People are boycotting traveling to the United States, and right now there is a decline in tourism. Let's talk about it. I've been watching several clips of empty airports in America, and some of the countries, especially the European countries, now issuing a travel warning to the United States that it's no longer safe. And even some of the American citizens are now warning the rest of the world that they should not travel to the States because it's no longer safe even for them, to a point that they are relocating to other countries where they can afford life and feel safe again. America used to be a beautiful continent where a majority of the people from around the world admired and even wished to travel to. But now, people are boycotting travel to that place. Ask yourself why. So guys, without further ado, let's dive in straight away, and kindly give the video a thumbs up. I'm your presenter, Judy, and credit belongs to the original creators of these clips.
So I've canceled my next trip to the United States. I was meant to be going there in later April. I was looking forward to it as well, like going to Boston, New England, beautiful places, lovely people. In fact, I even have both friends and actually some relatives in Maine, but I've canceled it because ICE, or whatever the hell it is detaining people. I mean, they detained a young Canadian for 10 days. They apparently arrested a bunch of Germans recently. They're going through people's phones. Like, this is meant to be, the United States is meant to be the beacon of democracy and freedom and so forth. Well, it is anything but. This is what fascism actually looks like. It is awful in North Korea, and it is awful in Saudi Arabia, and it is awful in Iran. So we can all be honest about that. But when that sort of thing settles in to what we consider to be the free world, that is the erosion of any value that we actually stand for. So I bring business to the United States, right? I run tours. Well, I'm not going to now. It's shocking, but I woke up 3 days in a row worrying about flying down there. And then I talked to someone I know kind of on the inside who said, don't fly in if you're not an American citizen. Like, this is how terrible it is at the moment. So it's sad and it's shocking, but hey, I'm off to Europe in a few days. I can fly down to South America, a lot of beautiful places. And American friends are welcome up here, absolutely. But if you're going to come up and wave a Trump flag, then, don't bother.
So I want to talk about the 5 senators that came over from the States to talk trade, but predominantly wanted to talk about tourism because we all know that tourism in April was down 32% from Canadians visiting the United States. It is hitting them hard. And, a lot of them talk about, and media as well, talk about that we are hurt over the tariffs. Nah, not really. Like, whatever. For me, a large part of it was, yes, the 51st state rhetoric. I'm a proud Canadian. But the bigger thing for me, I'll be honest, is that I would never visit the States now because of the fact that I probably would be snatched up by ICE, by the Border Patrol, the moment I went over. Because the content that I post, the things that I talk with friends, etc., the social media, memes and gags and all of that I have posted is very anti-Trump. It's also very anti-MAGA and anti-MAGA politicians. And I am very pro LGBTQ plus community. I am very pro DEI. I am very pro, anti-racism type of thing. I do not like hate in any form. And bottom line is, no, I do hate Trump. I'm sorry, I do. I hate him. And anyway, as much as I would love to visit America, because there's many people who did not vote for that, and understand Canadians love you. We do. We miss our friends. But bottom line, I'm too scared that I would end up in some kind of gulag somewhere. And I did comment on this exact kind of comment on Cole's Substack. I'll tag him in here as well. I highly recommend you subscribe. fantastic. But yeah, I did comment on this, that, the idea of ending up in a gulag, sorry, itch. The thought of ending up in a gulag where your family has no idea you are, and me being a hetero white female having that concern. I can only imagine people of color or people of any other sexual orientation. Like, I don't know. I fear for you guys, and I fear for the Americans too. You guys always talk about this freedom, but you don't have the freedom of you guys have lost your freedom of opinion, your freedom of speech, etc. You can see that with who's being snatched off the streets, the schools that are being prosecuted, the education system being dismantled, and people being persecuted for having an opinion or standing up for something. So anyway, yeah, we're not visiting because we just don't want to end up in El Salvador or Guantanamo. Simple as that.
I'm a US citizen living in Mexico, so I'm very used to seeing travel warnings like this from the US government, warning their citizens about crime and other things that are occurring in different states throughout Mexico. But did you also know that countries all over the world have travel advisories warning their citizens about traveling to the United States? Like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, France, the UK all have travel warnings warning their citizens about traveling to the US. And they cite things like gun violence, police brutality, mass shootings, even lack of access to healthcare. Canada straight up tells its citizens to familiarize themselves with active shooter drills. New Zealand does the same. Imagine you're a family getting ready to go on vacation and you're reading about active shooter drills so you're prepared while on vacation. Meanwhile, American kids have been doing that since they've been 5 years old. So maybe instead of clutching our pearls about travel outside of the US, we should take a long, honest look at the very real dangers happening in our backyard, because the rest of the world already is.
Trump is tanking US tourism, absolutely tanking it. There was a report out at the end of February saying, and this was from Tourism Economics, saying that instead of growing by 8.8%, tourism in the US was projected to decline by 5.1%. But that was in February, right? So much has happened since in terms of stories of tourists being maltreated that really is going to change the dynamics, I'm sure of it. I've got some stories here that I've written down about one French scientist, 3 Germans, a Canadian and a Brit, that I just want to take you through so that you understand what is happening here, because these are stories that are now going wild through the Western press, right? So first of all, the French scientist, this is probably the most recent story. He was denied entry to the US because he got there. They decided to search his phone and search his laptop. They found him having communicated sympathy with US scientists in terms of how Donald Trump has been treating the US science community, and decided that this was comparable to terrorism. And so he got turned around and sent back, okay? And French government has been complaining about that. But he got off, luckily, to just be accused of terrorism and denied entry. Because let's now talk about the 3 Germans, all of whom have been detained by ICE. So firstly, there's Jessica, the tattoo artist, and that was a big story everywhere because she was kept for what? Over a month or something, including solitary detention, absolutely moved from place to place. Her friends and family utterly terrified before she finally got released. For what? For taking some tattoo kit through border. She was treated like that. Then there's the next German, Lucas, a fiance of an American, and he was detained by ICE for 2 weeks. Then we have Fabian, the electrical engineer, a green card holder who was violently interrogated, stripped naked, pushed into a cold shower, and again, he was detained, I think, for a couple of weeks or something like that. Let's now move on to the Canadian. Her name is Jasmine. She actually wrote a piece in the British press describing her shocking treatment. She was held for 12 days. She didn't know why she was arrested. She was always told that they didn't know how long she was going to be kept. She was thrown in a cold cell with lots of other people, and they didn't have the lights on for 2 days. None of them knew what to do. It was a freezing room, and essentially she only got released when she got released. Imagine how terrifying that is. And then there's the story of the Brit. Her name was Rebecca. She had 3 weeks of horrendous treatment also, and she's now back home in Wales. But she said she was treated as if she were Hannibal Lecter. She was chained by the wrists, around the waist, and in the ankles. She couldn't walk without the help of an ICE officer. What the crap is this? Because it's been reported now that Germany is monitoring this situation very closely because of this incident with their 3 citizens. They want to see what it means for others. And of course, the French government has already responded about their scientists. And in fact, the French government are already saying, American scientists, we know what you're going through. You're welcome to come and work here. Okay? But think what this means, not just for American tourism, but American businesses, because so much of the international travel is business meetings as well. Think about any American or global organization that would want to host an international meeting. You wouldn't host it in the States for fear of some of your visitors being abused on entry, not just turned back, abused on entry and accused of being terrorists and so forth. That is terrifying. And so that is going to tank not only the US tourism industry, but so many other industries that operate internationally and want to have international business traffic to do their business, to have visitors or to host events. It's going to blow it all. And a third of the inbound traffic to America is Western Europe. A third is Western Europe, not all of Europe, just Western Europe. Eastern Europeans will be feeling the same, looking at this dynamic. And then what do you think Canadians are going to feel and other Commonwealth countries? And all of these countries are predominantly white. So what do you think Middle Eastern potential tourists would think about going to the States at the moment, or those in Latin America, seeing how their Latino colleagues have also been treated by Donald Trump, let alone Africa or let alone Asia, right? So, but on top of this, if this is how Donald Trump treats his allies or ex-allies, he is also lining up another travel ban of 43 countries, which are those that are not America's, I will now say, ex-allies. So where's the tourism going to come from? Where's the business traffic going to come from? Trump is absolutely isolating America. Now, I wouldn't want to go to America at this stage. Absolutely not. I feel 10 times safer going to Ukraine, which is what I did last week, than going to America. I would not go there now for fear of my phone being searched. And it's questionable whether they can search your phone. Apparently, they can't demand your password, but they could absolutely abuse you if you didn't hand it over. But would I go to America with this phone here? Is this that I'm recording to you now, would that be considered anti-Trump propaganda and therefore terrorism, which would bang me up? Listen, I spent 2 years growing up in America. I went to school on those little yellow buses. Yes, I did. But I would not go there now. And there will be many, many people right around the world that will think similarly. So I have never seen a country fall so fast in terms of its support from the rest of the world, in terms of its attractiveness to talent and to business and to engagement with the rest of the world. Never seen it like this. America at the moment is in free fall. It is absolutely plummeting. And I feel deeply for all of those good Americans there that don't know what to do right now. But we'll get through this. We'll find a way, but there needs to be pressure on the inside as well as the rest of the world applying pressure from the outside. But you can kiss America's tourism industry goodbye, at least while Donald Trump is in power. But then a lot of habits are going to be wired deep by all of this.
So guys, welcome back. Imagine booking a flight to go and enjoy your time at the beautiful Disney World only to end up at the alligator Alcatraz. Or you book a flight to go and spend your time at the beautiful Miami beaches, then you end up in El Salvador. This is the main reason as to why majority of the people are now boycotting traveling to the United States, because it's no longer safe. Even the American citizens are right now warning the rest of the world not to travel to America because it's not safe even for them. Some of them are even relocating to other countries to feel safe and afford life, because the life is so expensive in the United States. Affording anything, you have to work each and every time. You have to have maybe 3 jobs and work even 50 hours a week to afford life in the United States. And that's not even enough. You have to pay for all the bills. So, Trump policies, the travel ban targeting some countries, especially the African countries and the Caribbean countries. I think this is the main reason as to why there is a decline in tourism in the United States, because some people are asking, who even want to visit United States right now? There is a woman, she said that she was from Venezuela. She said that she had a wedding scheduled in Texas and she had to cancel it because she's not ready to get detained and end up in El Salvador or the alligator Alcatraz. Imagine after your beautiful day, after wedding, then you get detained just because you are not a United States citizen. And tourism, people are going to lose jobs, especially those who are working in the tourist sectors. The hotels are losing customers. And some will even shut down because maybe that's what they depended on their entire life. And now, if there are no tourists coming into the United States, you see, some of the airports are empty. People are asking themselves, where are people? Or what's happening? Is there protests or people are boycotting airports? Only to come and realize that tourism is plummeting in the United States. And the Disney World, there is a time it was empty. And some people are still saying that it's the leftists trying to say that Disney World is empty. But I've been seeing several videos of people saying that it's empty, that the tourism is declining in the United States just because of the orange man. Imagine all those policies. You've seen how he's detaining people, how he's deporting people. And the same people he's deporting, especially the Latinos, they were working so hard in the United States. They ensured the growth of the United States. I'm not saying that only the Latinos ensured the growth of the states, but they tried their best. There are some kind of jobs they were doing that some of the American citizens can't do. So tell me right now that there is a decline in tourism in the United States, and yet America used to be a place where people admired. It was the continent where majority of people admired worldwide. People wanted to travel there. So right now, people are boycotting it. And all these policies, the Taco Man is trying to isolate America so that it can stand on itself. He is trying to isolate it from the rest of the world. And even some of the European countries are warning their people not to travel to the United States because it's not safe for them. Some of the Canadians who wanted to travel to the States, they say that they better quit traveling there than they go to maybe Japan. They spend their time there, or they visit Europe, some of the European countries, and spend their best time there. Some even wanted to travel to Africa to enjoy the beautiful motherland, because there is no way they should be flying to maybe Florida, Los Angeles, and yet after flying to those places, you get detained, you get frustrated there, then you get deported. And there is this man whose phone and computer were checked at the airport, only for the security to find out that he was anti-Trump. He was talking negatively about him, and then they labeled him as a terrorist. Imagine such kind of stuff. If social media, there are a lot of people who are against him, who are talking negatively about him, who are not siding with him. To me, those people, they can't be allowed to go to the United States. They can't be welcome there. You'll be frustrated at the airport. Even personally, I know right now I can't be allowed to go to the United States, because if they check my phone, I'll be done. If they check my computer, I'll be done. Because if that man, that is the only thing that made the security to label him as a terrorist, and yet he did nothing bad. In this world, not all people will like you, and not all people will not like you. Some will like you, some will not like you. So, if you are such kind of person who is loved by people worldwide, ask yourself, what am I doing that is making people to love me? And if you are not loved by people, you just ask yourself the same question. Because right now, people really don't like America because of whatever is going there. If the American citizens are the ones now relocating to other countries because they can't afford being there, it's not secure for them. Even there is a man who said that right now he need to change his passport, he need to renew his passport, but he can't do it because if he goes to the office to renew his passport, maybe he might be denied or get detained, and yet he's American citizens. And even some of the green card holders were being detained at the airport. Do you think even next year there will be games, the FIFA World Cup in the United States? I really doubt, because they were saying that they better cancel it. Because if some people were from those countries where the Tacoman issued the travel ban, how will they be allowed to go there? There are some volleyball team from Cuba who are supposed to be traveling to the United States. Imagine an entire team was banned from entering the United States. That's like a walkout now. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your support. Kindly give it a thumbs up, and if you're coming across the channel for the very first time, consider subscribing. I'm your presenter, Judy. Until next time, let's meet on my next episode. Stay safe.